The sacred path of pain, why the wounded become the warriors of light. There's a hidden truth that most never speak aloud. God doesn't always choose the perfect, the holy, or the pure. Sometimes God chooses the forgotten, the fallen, the flawed. Why? Because when divinity hides inside darkness, only the brave dare to seek it. And the dark chosen ones, they are the seekers who didn't turn back. They walked through fire, not with certainty, but with willingness. Willingness to be reshaped, to be dismantled, to be reborn. By now you may have started to feel a strange recognition stirring inside you. A quiet voice saying, "This is me. This is the life I've lived." If so, don't ignore it. That voice is ancient. It's the voice of your soul remembering why you came here. Because the path of the dark chosen one isn't something you choose. It's something you remember. And once remembered, it can no longer be denied. I want to speak to the pain now. The pain that shaped you. The pain that no one saw. The pain you had to swallow in silence. That pain, it wasn't sent to destroy you. It was sent to awaken you. It carved out a space in you so deep only God could fill it. And when He did, you became something the world couldn't explain. A paradox, a contradiction, a soul that shines with divine light but speaks the language of the wounded. That's your power. That's what makes you dangerous to illusion and precious to the divine. Let's go deeper into each archetype now, not just as symbols, but as real-life embodiments of sacred purpose. Take the breaker of chains again. This is the soul who has lived lifetimes inside oppression, emotional, cultural, spiritual. They may have endured violence or betrayal from their own bloodline. They may have been the child who had to parent their parents, but something inside them refused to surrender. It wasn't pride, it was purpose. A quiet knowing that I wasn't born to repeat this. I was born to end it. And so they do, through therapy, through spiritual practices, through radical forgiveness. Not because they want to be better than their family, but because they know someone has to step forward. Someone has to clear the karma. Someone has to be the bridge. And that someone is them. But the road is lonely. The breaker of chains often feels like an alien. They don't relate to others their age. They crave depth, silence, meaning. They're drawn to ancient wisdom, even as the world distracts itself with noise. And often, they break down before they break through. Depression, isolation, identity crisis, it all comes. But eventually they rise, and when they do, they become unshakable, because they didn't just survive, they alchemized. Now consider the seer of truth. This archetype is often born with heightened sensitivity. As children, they see things others don't. They feel the energy behind words. They sense the tension behind smiles. But in a world that values masks, this ability is often punished. Don't be so sensitive. Stop overreacting. You're imagining things. So the seer learns to doubt themselves. They silence their intuition. They conform. But life doesn't let them rest. The truth keeps knocking. The illusions keep breaking. And eventually, they surrender to the gift. And when they do, they become mirrors. Standing before them, people feel exposed not because the seer is judging, but because their very presence reflects what others are avoiding. But with great sight comes great responsibility. The seer must learn discernment. Not every truth must be spoken. Not every vision must be shared. They must learn to balance their inner knowing with humility and timing. And when they do, they become divinely surgical, able to cut through decades of delusion with a single sentence. These are the healers who don't sugarcoat. They don't coddle. They illuminate. And their light, though intense, is liberating. The silent warrior, meanwhile, is often the uncelebrated hero. They don't seek recognition. They don't post their pain online. They process in solitude. They master themselves in silence. They are the friends who hold space without needing to fix you. They are the mentors who guide you without needing your loyalty. Their power is invisible but felt. And because they've seen the darkest parts of themselves, they have nothing left to prove. They walk in peace, not because life has been kind, but because they've made peace with life. But even the silent warrior must learn to receive, because silence, when not sacred, becomes suppression, and healing, when not shared, becomes stagnation. So the warrior's initiation is to open, to trust, to allow others to see the cracks in their armor. Because vulnerability for them is not weakness, it is the next level of strength. Now, the sacred rebel. This one is fire incarnate. They don't just challenge authority, they challenge false authority. They call out spiritual bypassing. They confront systemic injustice. They question teachings that shame instead of liberate. And yes, they ruffle feathers. But that's the point. They don't exist to make you comfortable. They exist to wake you up. And when they awaken to their own sacred rage, they become unstoppable. But the rebel must also evolve. Rage alone burns everything down. But rage infused with grace becomes prophecy. The sacred rebel must learn to wield their fire like a sword, not to destroy blindly, but to cut away illusion with precision. They must learn when to fight and when to forgive. Because true rebellion isn't just against the world, it's against the self that wants to stay asleep. And finally, the healer of realms. This one is often the most energetically burdened. They carry pain that isn't theirs. They dream of tragedies before they happen. They cry for people they've never met. And for years, they think something is wrong with them. But in truth, they are portals. Their bodies are instruments through which divine healing flows. But to become masters, they must learn boundaries. They must stop rescuing and start empowering. They must stop absorbing and start transmuting. When the healer awakens fully, they become walking temples. People feel lighter in their presence, and time slows around them. And though they speak little, their energy speaks volumes. But their journey is lifelong. Their medicine evolves, and the more they heal themselves, the more potent their gift becomes. Now, let me ask you something few dare to consider. What if your entire life has been a ceremony? A preparation? What if every heartbreak, every rejection, every dark night of the soul was not a detour but a design? What if your pain was the price of admission into a sacred lineage of souls chosen not to escape the world, but to transform it from within? If you feel this in your bones, then you already know you are not meant to be ordinary. You are not here to live a small life. You are here to embody the divine in a way that most people will never understand. And that's okay, because dark chosen ones are not here to be understood. They're here to be remembered by those brave enough to awaken. So stop hiding. Stop waiting for permission. Your scars are sacred. Your voice is necessary. Your presence is prophetic. And if the world isn't ready for you, then make it ready. Because when the dark chosen ones rise, they don't just change lives, they shift timelines.